Calaroga Shark Media.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, and hi, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. I don't have like St. Patrick's Day themed for you. I wish I did, but I don't. However, once a year in Hershey, Pennsylvania, thousands of stuffed animals rain down onto the ice at the hockey arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's one of minor league hockey's most unusual and heartwarming traditions. For the past 25 years, the Hershey Bears of the AHL have hosted an annual teddy bear toss game to benefit children and families across central Pennsylvania. Here's how it goes. As soon as the Bears score their first goal, you throw stuffed animals onto the ice. Crews can spend almost an hour collecting all the toys. Last season, the Hershey Bears set a world record when fans tossed 102,343 stuffed animals onto the ice. Wow. This year, the Bears scored just 3 minutes into the game. By the end of the cleanup, 81,796 stuffed animals had been collected. I'm wondering what happens if they get shut out. That would be awful. The largest private land conservation project in the U.S. has reached a major milestone. The nonprofit American Prairie announced it has removed the 100th mile of derelict barbed wire fencing from its land holdings, eliminating roughly 500,000 pounds of scrap metal from the landscape. That allows wildlife species to move freely across the prairie for the first time in decades. American Prairie spent more than 20 years acquiring and leasing land. They're now trying to get it designated as a national park. If so, the reserve would rank among the 10 largest in the contiguous United States. Conservationists estimate that more than 90% of the original Great North American Prairie has been lost to development and agriculture. Wow. On September 11th, 2001, David Sylvester lost his friend Kevin. Kevin was working on the 99th floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. David was home in Philadelphia watching all this on TV, knowing that his friend was inside. 9 months after the attacks, David set out on a cross-country bicycle journey to honor Kevin's life, riding more than 4,200 miles from Oregon to Philadelphia. Along the route, at almost every stop, strangers sought conversation, connection, and physical reassurance. David said people wanted to talk, to feel safe, and often a hug. The original 2002 ride led to some other rides. In 2004, Cairo to Cape Town. In 2007, Istanbul to Beijing, and other trips across Australia, Europe, Israel, and the U.S. David has traveled through 42 countries and all 50 U.S. states, documenting interactions centered on consensual physical touch as a form of communication and healing. In Belfast, he met a Muslim woman who couldn't hug him for religious reasons, but he asked whether her smile could count towards his tally. He said, sure. All these years later, 25,000 miles later, he has spent 3 years of his life on the road, and he says what has changed is not the presence of pain, but his understanding of healing. Dave Sylvester is the author of Brother in Arms, A Real Men Hug, published in December. In Iowa, it's the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt. The program, administered by the Iowa State Treasurer, functions as a financial lost and found. Treasury staff work with businesses that have lost contact with account holders whose last known address was in Iowa. When the assets go unclaimed, they're transferred to Iowa for safekeeping. Iowa maintains a public searchable database and encourages residents to periodically check whether money or assets are being held in their name. I know both New York and New Jersey do something similar, and it's real. The unclaimed property can come from a wide range of sources, including forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, insurance proceeds, stock holdings, or dormant utility deposits. One Iowa woman was reunited with $4.5 million in McDonald's common stock and accumulated dividends. Years ago, she had invested $15,000 and kind of forgot about it. And if you think your dog can understand you, you are correct. I mean, I've had dogs for 4 decades now. No, 5 decades now. And I'm telling you, they understand. Well, science is now backing Johnny Mac up. Some dogs can acquire vocabulary without you even talking to them, a skill previously thought to be unique to humans. Apparently, toddlers by around 18 months of age can learn new words by overhearing conversations, and now so can the dogs. Some dogs have the ability to learn and retain the names of objects. These animals are called gifted word learner dogs. They're capable of learning the names of hundreds of toys. Here's what the scientists did in one group. Owners directly addressed their dogs while introducing and naming 2 unfamiliar toys. In the second group, the dogs just observed their owners discussing the toys with another person. In both scenarios, the dogs heard each toy's name for a total of about 8 minutes. Later, the toys were placed in another room, and they said, hey, dog, go get the whatever. The dog selected the correct toy 80% of the time when directly addressed, and listen to this, 100% of the time when they learned by only overhearing it. Huh. I could tell you one word they know, and it's spelled O-U-T. And those are your 5 good news stories for today.